Lincoln is very fortunate to have a variety of retirement living options offering a spectrum of care. The gold standard in Lincoln for independent living, service, and programming is Legacy Retirement Communities. Since 1995, Legacy Communities have incorporated elegance, superior quality of care, affordability, and thriving social activity all under one roof. It's also inspired this radio show, The Aging Adventure, brought to you by Legacy Retirement Communities. Every Saturday morning on KFOR, we gather together a group of senior living enthusiasts whose mission is to improve the way we age and how we perceive aging. Joining me every week is John Kopetsky, Executive Director of Legacy Terrace at 5700 Fremont Street, and Kathy Blythe, an award-winning alum of KFOR, with genuine devotion to Lincoln's seniors. John and Kathy, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Health is among the most important issues for seniors. So today on The Aging Adventure, we bring you an expert. Dr. Alley from the University of Nebraska College of Pharmacy is back on KFOR after over 500 appearances on Problems and Solutions with Kathy between 1998 and 2018. Good morning, Dr. Alley.
Good morning, Dale. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for joining us on The Aging Adventure.
It's a joy to be with you again.
Dr. Alley, of course, we're thrilled, just thrilled to have you back with us and with our listeners. And I know that one of the first things you wanted to do today was to give a big shout out to a lovely segment of our population. So take it away.
Nebraska seniors rocked the vaccine. It's amazing. When you look at our remarkable vaccination rates, it is Nebraska's seniors that have done that in diamonds. Think about all of the folks who lined up in terrible weather. Recall that blizzard in December? I hiked 1.5 miles to get to the center because the snow was too deep to drive, and there were seniors lined up waiting for their vaccine. So I know we're not done yet. It's time for the young folks to step up, but Nebraska's seniors were amazing.
We love hearing that, Dr. Alley. And as you reminded me privately off the air, we're not that far away from the time that you're going to be reminding us for flu shots.
Oh, no. We are not far away at all. In fact, we're within probably 3 months of saying, go get your flu shot. And I know you're just tired of viruses. Doggone it. You're tired of not visiting people. You're tired of wearing masks. You're tired of hearing about the Delta variant of whatever. But influenza kills 300,000 people worldwide every year who don't need to die. That is, people who could be okay if they got their flu shot. Last year was weird. We were all staying home and wearing masks. We really don't know how bad the virus could have been. This year, I think since we got so tired of some of that stuff last year, the flu shot's going to be really, really important.
There were hardly any influenza cases reported, not only in Nebraska, but worldwide this past flu season. Isn't that right?
That's right. It's because the whole world was wearing a mask. Think about it. I haven't had a cold since 2019 because I was always honking and snorting, and I'm not sure I want to give up my mask just because I don't even like the common cold. But certainly we need to be ready for influenza this year.
Dr. Alley, let's talk next about over-the-counter pain medications like ibuprofen and acetaminophen. How much is too much, since nobody's monitoring how many we're taking or how many we're buying? How much is too much, and what side effects can be possible if you use it long-term?
Never use more than it says on the label unless a pharmacist or your healthcare provider have told you that it's okay. So that is the how much is too much. Read the label. 2 tablets 3 times a day means that 7 are too many. And I understand that, well, I've done it before. Okay, I occasionally exceed the speed limit and I didn't die in an automobile accident, but I know that I'm risking my life when I do that. Here's the problem. The label actually exists to keep you safe. If you need more, please, Your pharmacist is your best friend when it comes to dosing drugs, whether there's a prescription or not. So ask, why do I still have pain? What can I do? Certainly the side effects that concern us are those drugs like aspirin or ibuprofen or naproxen can really upset your stomach to the point where it bleeds. And acetaminophen, that drug found in Tylenol, can slow down your liver. And that's a bit of a challenge if you're taking any other drug.
So as always, you mentioned taking any other drugs. I mean, we have to watch out for interactions with prescription, non-prescription, anything you're taking.
John, you're absolutely right. And I will tell you the easy way to do that. Go up to your pharmacist, hand them a list and say, this is what I'm taking. If I add this, do I create any problem? Because that's what we got trained to do. We honestly don't make our students come to college for 7 years to learn how to count by 5.
Our guest today on The Aging Adventure is the one, the only Dr. Allie from the University of Nebraska College of Pharmacy, and we'll have more with Dr. Allie in just a moment.
This morning on The Aging Adventure, Dr. Allie of the University of Nebraska College of Pharmacy is talking with John and Kathy about prescription medications.
Dr. Allie, now that we're officially into the season of summer, and it sure feels like it outside, we're also into the season of insects, ticks, and other creepy crawlies. What dangers do they pose, and what can we do to keep them at bay?
Well, the dangers change sort of on where we pick them up. Right, the further south in the United States we go, the bigger the potential that the mosquitoes are carrying something we really don't want. But even here, we have the opportunity to get some less than pleasant effects. And I'm not just talking about an itch that'll keep you up for a couple of nights. When we look at ticks and we look at things like Lyme disease, and we look at things like Rocky Mountain spotted fever, which truly has never gone away, some of those can be pretty serious. So our best attack on these creatures is prevention. If you're going to be outside, there are a number of citronella options for things like decks and patios. There's a citronella plant. There are candles and various other atmospheric citronella that works well if you're going to go hiking. Certainly, if you can wear long pants and socks and long sleeves and hats, that is very helpful. But I get it. We're in the season, right, John? And so often it's too warm to do all of that. Then you can use a high-quality insect repellent. DEET, DEET, is still sort of the gold standard in being insect repellent, although Picardin is noted to work reasonably well. And all of the major retailers of insect repellents have products that contain both DEET, DEET, and Picardin. And then it's a matter of picking which one you like best. I kind of like those misty spray ones just because it appears to go for me, but that's personal preference. There's no science that says that one application form is better than another.
Dr. Allie, we can never know too much about heart health. We should feel that way, and I think it's so. And can you give us some of the basics we can do to keep our hearts healthier?
Well, yeah. And it is going to sound incredibly simplistic, and it's actually very hard. So think about everything you know that is damaging to your heart. Carrying too much weight without also exercising. Eating highly processed foods when we live in a state that makes the best food on the planet. So fresh meat, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. And if you're going to cook them, that's wonderful. Just don't fry them, okay? And suck all the good out. Think about simple exercise. Exercise does not have to make you sweat. You can go for a walk in the morning, expose your face to the sun, get your vitamin D, get a little exercise. It'll be awesome. Or you can dance. Or you can do the laundry, but only carry half a basket up and down the stairs each time. And I understand that means you're only going up and down the stairs 2 or 3 extra times, but those kinds of things count and they matter. You don't have to run a marathon. You don't have to ride a bike 100 miles. You just have to think about your heart. And if you are currently using tobacco, talk to your pharmacist or your healthcare provider about nicotine cessation. We just know that that's not good for your heart ever.
And as someone who had a heart attack at age 50 and had really none of the risk factors except for heredity, I can speak from firsthand experience that you're aware of those things. You need to take it seriously. And it's never too late to repair some of that damage, to start over and live healthier. It may be at age 50 or 60, but you can start over, start living a healthier lifestyle and add years to your life.
Well, and think about making it sort of a friends project. Together we will go for a walk. Together we will try this new recipe with snap peas and whatever, right? You can help the people you love the most by doing the right thing for them.
Dr. Alley, let's take just a little time here to talk about the importance of having a pharmacist that you trust and that you can have an open dialogue with, because we hear people say that. I'm not very comfortable talking with my pharmacist about XYZ, but that probably means you should have a different pharmacist, doesn't it?
I think so. I think so. I know that there are folks who would not be crazy about having their pharmacist be on the radio with y'all, and that's fine. They should find a pharmacist, probably who's not me, right? But trust me when I tell you we've heard it before, we are not judgmental. Our entire job is to help you get the best from your drug therapy and to keep you safe. And we can't do any of that without complete information. So feel free to share. We have heard it, we won't laugh, and we would love to help.
As always, you give us the greatest information, Dr. Alley, and we'll have more great information coming your way, listeners, on The Aging Adventure. Dr. Alley from the College of Pharmacy is our guest today.
We're back on The Aging Adventure, focusing this morning on medications with Dr. Alley from the University of Nebraska College of Pharmacy.
Dr. Alley, we're hearing so much about over-the-counter drugs. We're hearing about supplements. One thing we're hearing a lot about is vitamin D. What should we be doing in terms of vitamin D?
The easy answer when you live in Nebraska is stick your face in the sun for 10 to 20 minutes a day. And you make your own vitamin D. When the sunlight hits your skin, there's a chemical reaction and you make your own vitamin D. And it really doesn't take any more skin than there is on your face. Now, for folks with full sideburns and a full beard, maybe you want to think about your shoulders getting exposed to the sun every now and again. But the reality is we do a very good job with that. There will be a few people who cannot do that. There may be folks who are taking a drug that makes even that little bit of sun exposure dangerous because the drug causes sunburn. And there will be some folks with kidney problems who need extra vitamin D. Our challenge, of course, comes when there's no sunlight. It's the weather is cold and it's cloudy and it's awful, and you can't get your face in the sun for 20 or 30 minutes a day. You are wounded and can't get out of bed for a period of time, so you can't get your face in the sun. That's when we talk about supplementing vitamin D. And most of us, when we go for our annual appointment with our physician, vitamin D levels are one of the things that get checked because we know that it impacts your bones and it impacts your mental health. And we are learning that it may even change the way your body handles lipids like cholesterol. So it is a big deal. You're right. And we should be monitoring that. We should also be thinking about how happy just sticking your face in the sun makes you, with or without the vitamin D. And maybe we need to plan just a little bit of me time.
Good thoughts, Dr. Ali. When we see different little notes on a prescription bottle, like, for example, maybe it says, do not take this with grapefruit, or it says something like, don't take an antacid for 2 hours before or after this medication. Does that mean business? I mean, if that says that, do what it says, or don't do what it says.
When you think about what it looks like on my side of the pharmacy counter, I want to be as efficient as I possibly can. So I am not adding any warning that you don't need. It takes my time. It slows down my process. And sometimes if I put a warning on your bottle, there isn't room for me to put something else, right? So if I take the time to say, take with food, that means take with food. Not 2 donut holes and a cup of coffee, but real food. If it says do not take with grapefruit juice, that means ever. That doesn't mean don't take with grapefruit juice, use water. That means no grapefruit in your diet while you are taking this drug. Yeah, that's what it means.
And the smaller the bottle, the smaller the font on the warning labels.
Exactly.
Shall we talk next about dealing with the heat, Dr. Ali? Because it can be more than just a nuisance. It can be life-threatening.
Heat can absolutely be life-threatening. Not only directly, right, that heat has a direct impact on your brain and on your heart, but indirectly in that you get dehydrated or you lose water. And we know that most adults in the United States are relatively dehydrated all the time. We don't drink enough water, or we drink so much caffeine that we need much more fluid to make up for that, and we don't. If we add to that the heat and sweating and all of those kinds of things, it can get critical pretty fast. And then add in, after you hit about 55, odds are good you're taking one drug that causes dry mouth. So not only can the heat make you critically ill, it can make you really uncomfortable. Think about shade, think about a fan, think about not being outside between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. when it is just really hard to find a safe place.
So when you go out to get that 10 to 20 minutes of sun time to get your vitamin D, make sure it's not between 11 and 2, lest you bake and become dehydrated. This is getting complicated.
Well, it isn't. Get up, take your morning meds, go out for a walk. It will be cool. There is more likely to be a breeze. You'll get a little sun on your face. You may get to hear the birds. Then go back and get on with your day. We try to make it as easy as possible.
And you do succeed at that. Dr. Ali, before we let you go, can you let us know what you consider to be the most reliable website for us to check for updated COVID information?
Oh, absolutely. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, cdc.gov. And if you really want all of the statistics, most of us don't, but if you want all the statistics, hit I am a healthcare provider. Otherwise, ask for the public page and you will get great information.
We're so glad you took the time to be with us today, and I hope that maybe we can coax you into doing this in the future on the Aging Adventure, Dr. Alley.
I'm happy to come back, Kathy. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you,
Dr. Alley. It's great to meet you in person finally after hearing you all these years on Problems and Solutions.
Thank you, Dr. Alley. John and Kathy, thank you too for being here this morning on the Aging Adventure. And listeners, join us next week when we go into retirement with the Legacy Retirement Communities. I'm Dale Johnson.